Welcome back to our final rebuild and final video in general on Madden 23, as this will be the 10-year rebuild of our Sacramento City Miners Relocation Fantasy Draft franchise. Sorry if you've been spoiled by the results of the season. You had a few days to check, right? Like Madden 24 is like literally here. The fact that we're even getting this up in time is really surprising, and getting anything up these days is a challenge for me. But obviously it was a really good game. Maybe check it out if you didn't see it. It came down to the wire, all right? Long story short. But this is what the squad looks like. Obviously a team that had just enough juice, a lot of abilities, a lot of high ratings for their overalls. You know, like 82 overall wide receiver, but with 98 speed, 99 excel, it's like, well, yeah, I guess he's 82, but is he really? And, you know, even Kennedy is like, what number is that? 87? You know, very good 87 overall, especially with that height. We got some of the best players in the league, and we're going to see what 10 years of rebuilding this squad could do. Thorne will be back, and with very limited draft picks, maybe we replace Benito at right end. Had a little bit of a down year, and in general, he's going to be 26 years old, and he's a little bit of a lower overall. Not guaranteed to be replaced, but we're definitely looking to draft someone for that spot, so we'll see. But yeah, if you guys are excited for this one, and you know, you want to head out from Madden 23 with a bang, help me do that at least. Maybe leave a like. I would say maybe subscribe. It'd be kind of a weird video to first see for me, but maybe you're new. Subscribe if you're new. And if not, really appreciate your continued support, especially for, you know, this video. You know, watching the whole series and then heading on to this 10-year rebuild, that means a ton to me. It's probably like, what do you mean, watching the whole thing and then watching the videos? I'm watching maybe like 5 episodes this series. I miss Seahawks. But, yeah, maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, as well as that, you know, getting, you know, people over there definitely helps as well. Just in case, you never know what happens. You know, maybe I get 3 copyright strikes and I'm out of here. So who knows? But let's get this rebuild underway. I don't know if we had any re-signings. I think we kind of took care of most of that before, you know, the season ended anyways. But staff week, let's see what we got. I got a little bit of the scouting done already during the season, I believe, so shouldn't really have to worry too much, especially with our limited draft picks, about scouting that long. That's the real big problem with these 10-year rebuilds, is that they take a long time, in fairness, but they also, it just becomes a little bit of a drag because the team's so good that we have nothing to draft. Hines, if you're using the team, probably makes a lot of sense. Not using the team, though, we were offering him quite a bit. A 1-year 4.5, I was like, hey, you want to stick around as the return man? Decides not to. Alontae Taylor's probably worth that deal. A 3-year 12. What is he actually asking for? 2-year 8. So that's pretty on par, but I think he needs more than on par. Not interested in signing. I mean, gets to stick around with a Super Bowl winning team. Decides not to. What can I say? And Stafford, I think, is worth re-signing because he has mentors still. So should get Eli Fisher more upgrade points and, you know, develop him quicker in general. What is this? Oh, Matthew Stafford? Okay, I mean, he's literally like, he's Matthew Stafford, but he's not like, oh my God, it's Matthew Stafford. You know, he's like, oh, Matthew Stafford, he's still playing? I didn't think that was going to be a case. Free agency week 1, let's see if there's anyone here. We obviously have a lot of money because most teams do, but we also might have some names to re-sign in the future. This is going to be 10 years, so we're going to be in this whole thing. Trey Hendrickson, a 2-year deal to put our edge rush to the next level would be interesting. Any other? I think it's a little easier to go this way. Bad QBs, running backs not needed, and they're not that great anyways. Wide receivers are super mid. Tight end don't need, but Musgrave's actually not bad at all, especially since he's superstar. Same with Darnell Washington. Left tackle's okay, but on the older side, left guard's mid, center's mid, right guard's okay. Right tackle's very good, but very mid at finesse. And then looking at left end, not really an option. DT, maybe if you have a nose tackle need with Reader. DeForest Buckner just isn't going to be a starter for us. And then the big name that we've been looking at, Mr. Trey Hendrickson, a 2-year 42, which we can't afford. And more importantly, it would only be a 2-year deal. 9.5 sacks, a little bit on the lower side, but I'd be kind of down, dude. I don't know. I'd be kind of down. I might still draft edge just in case for the future, but I think we should be down, and I think we're going to be. Ooh, Julari. That might actually be a better choice. Had a really good season this latest season. That's a lot of money per year, though. What team's interested? If it's If it is like Buffalo, maybe we make that play just to take away from them. It's going to be Tennessee. I mean, he's not bad, but I think Hendrickson's a little more guaranteed. And Ojulari, that's a lot of money per year. Edge rush is hard to find, though. I don't think Trey Hendrickson takes the first contract anyway, so I think we can maybe get away with like a 3-year 62. And if it doesn't happen, maybe we pull the offer and then go for Trey Hendrickson. I don't hate that. I think that's a good call. And some of the other guys, they're okay, but they're not as good as Mr. BJ Ojulari. That's all I really want, though. That's the only guy. We need edge. Did we get him? I don't know. We did. We're cooking. Well, we're invested in Ojulari now, let me tell you that much. Probably going to look to trade off Nick Benito now, as Ojulari is going to take that spot. Thorne's injured for the moment, but obviously when this rebuild's kicking off, that will not be the case. Also, going to manually upgrade Tony House as he finally gets that 85. We wanted to see him get the bulldozer. Gets the slot, and he got armbar on his own, which is pretty insane, actually. So bulldozer, I mean, just for the fun of it, I kind of want to go in and see what he can do. But obviously, with the wait till the season, is started. All right, so looking at the edge rushers that we're potentially looking at, even though we really don't need one right now, and maybe never actually in general. Now that I think about it, because we went from 2-year replacement guy to minimum 3 years, and because he's young, maybe like 6+. This might just be a trade down. Corner, I mean, I like McCollum a lot, but as far as like a Madden rebuild sense goes, maybe he's worth replacing. This is where I have problems, because I don't know who the hell to take. I'm just going to move down to 32, and if there's somebody worth taking... Okay, thank you. That was really nice of you. If there's someone worth taking there, I'm going to take him, I guess. And the only player there is actually the pretty slow edge rusher. He's got 4.64, which isn't bad, but solid speed, solid excel, solid agility is iffy. But with a power move, B finesse, A pursuit. How young? 21? 22. I mean, I really don't have a need for him, though. I don't know if I really have a need for Taylor either, but very athletic at that size. I guess I'm going to take Denard Taylor, who is hidden, and very, very athletic for the size. And last player there is Mr. DeAndre Humphrey, the speedster linebacker who is normal dev. Not only the last player on my list, but also the last draft pick in general. Let's take a look at these ratings, 72 and 71. I guess we'll take a look at Taylor. And then we could have traded up for one of the edge rushers, but obviously with our needs, there was pretty much no realistic way for us to do that. Star dev kind of mid. But I guess we could have taken that slower edge rusher, so we'll see, I suppose, if he would have been worth it or not. And he went all the way at 10, 73 overall, is hidden, is very slow, but does have very good power move. I mean, he's tall, but it's 5'4", or 254, not 5'24". That'd be a completely different story. Thankfully, only star. I mean, that's not that big to be that slow. It's not like he's 270-something. I leave the team for like 2 seconds, and they got rid of the offensive coordinator. Unless he retired. No defensive coordinator either. Bro, what? Tell me that our guys are still there. No? Okay. Screw it. All that freaking juice wasted. 3-4, 3-4, 3-4, 3-4. Let's not do that. Although now I think about it, and our defensive coordinator is not going to be a 4-3. Oh, no, there's a 4-3 there. Anyone else? 5 talents. Oh, hello. We got some talenters. 4-3. Sean McVay, but doesn't really fit the scheme. So we're going to go with Mr. Ian Alexander. All right, we're going to be testing out House's ability to truck. Okay, the truck definitely worked. Kind of want to see the stiff arm now, because he is a power monster, especially with the abilities. Would be a little busted to keep both abilities on him, but okay, that didn't really work. For who gives a crap's sake. Forgot about the lineup we have for these guys. I just want my boy in. Great, we're going to get some freaking X Factor. He's going to lock us down. I told you he was going to. You didn't listen. Pitcher right. That should be a clean look one-on-one. We're going to lose this game, but it's preseason, so who cares? I just want to see House do some damage. I mean, it's not that busted. But that first truck was decent. But that's about it. Nick Benito to the Dallas Cowboys for a 3rd-round pick, which I think is fair because it's a late projected 3rd. And Nick Bonito's still definitely usable, and he's one of the most athletic players in the league with mid-80 finesse with star depth. And here we are for the true Season 1 of this 10-year rebuild. This is what the squad looks like. Nothing really changed on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, though, definitely changes. Ojulari is now the edge rusher, which is, you know, back-to-back season where we added like an 87-plus overall defensive lineman. And this D-line is really becoming one of the best in the league now. Linebackers are still questionable. Maybe Evans gets replaced. Maybe Tyndall even. You know, we talked about, you know, that age. You can't really progress too much higher than that. So we'll see what happens. But, yeah, it's a really good squad. Still rather young. Maybe even corner needs to be replaced. You know, McCollum 85 overall. But that age is now, what, 27? So 9K XP. He's very, very close to maxing his overall. I would say if he was like 28, he'd be screwed, but he might actually just make it as 27. Might get to like an 89 plus, and because he's an X Factor, not regress that hard, but we'll see. I mean, it's a really good squad, and like I said, I don't know what to do in the offseason. It's more of a following the career. You know, it's like a sim, but we're making moves to not lose players. You know, in the sim, they're just going to get rid of whoever the hell they want, but we're going to keep the core players that matter. But, you know, what can you do? All right, 152 mil, but there are some names to re-sign. A lot of our, like, OG names that we love need contracts, and obviously there's just some that just aren't going to be let go. Tony House is one of them. The running back market is pretty bad right now, so a 5-year 22.5 is... It's not great, but at the same time, he has played worse over the last few seasons. O'Neal, I mean, I really don't know where I would... I mean, that's what you asked for, though. I'm not really sure where I would place him. Done. Do you really want to pay all of the wide receivers? I guess 5-year 60 is not terrible either. Bryce Cody, that is a maxed deal. He is the cream of the crop of tight ends right now, and he needs more money apparently. Jalen McKenzie, he's got the youth on his side, so even though all these guys are red interest because we're playing absolutely garbagely right now, they all need to be re-signed. Although I will say Tyndall, you can't really afford everyone. It's costly, but we could afford it. It's questionable, that's for sure. How the hell is that such a cheap contract, by the way? There's no way he actually accepts this, right? What the hell's going on? A 4-year 16? Yeah, okay, it's going to go way higher than that. Bishop needs to go. Okay, so you pretty much know who we're going to try to re-sign. The question is, will we be able to re-sign them all? I don't know. To the playoffs. Let's see if we're in them. This was a shaky season, and we're not. 9-8. I don't... Let's take a look at the rest of the league. We haven't really paid attention to the overalls, in fairness, so they're probably, you know, they might actually be higher than us. So the Packers are higher in 92. So there's a couple of teams that are like 92, 93, but there's a lot that are like a lot lower than 80, you know, 90. The sliders may be a little high. Just looking at these, I can't even complain, but we are one of the higher overall teams, but at the same time, at 9-8, with all these teams being such a high overall, it's not the most unrealistic thing to see this, you know, team miss, I suppose. A lot of win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. Pretty strong finish, but losing 40... Was that 45-0 to who? Who? 45-0 to the team we just beat in the Super Bowl. I'm sure of it. Very sure of that. Let's take a look at the stats and awards. Eli Fisher, touchdowns were really low. Yards are decent. Picks were, you know, I mean, pretty low, to be fair. House was terrible, though. Kennedy, very good. Everyone else, pretty mid, but I guess the tight end was good. But for Madden concerns, pretty mid. You know, like the most random wide receivers get like 1,000 yards. Looking at the D-line, not bad. Ojulari with 11.5, 17.5 for Thorne, which is amazing. 10.5 for John Franklin Myers, which is really good for DT. And hell, Morris even got involved at 6.5. Interceptions, basically not seen. Glad we paid Kazu a 4-year 18 to be very, very, very bad. Evans is very good, and man, outside of like the D-line and Kennedy, this is a really garbage season as Joe Burrow wins 3 straight MVPs and wouldn't have expected any award wins, but it begins. That's all I can say. It begins. Look at the dev-ups. The only guy that actually got one was John Franklin Myers. I would have thought Thorne maybe, and, well, not even maybe, but almost guaranteed. And then Ojulari I would have thought had a pretty good chance, but guess not. John Franklin Myers with an X Factor, though, for being one of the oldest players on the team still, which is crazy to think at 29, is the most clutch, I suppose. What is this? You have ended the season with a negative balance. If this is not corrected before the deadline, your position will be terminated. End of next season. We have 92 million. Oh, our CEO money is looking bad because we relocated and we only won a Super Bowl. That's not enough, apparently. Okay. We brokey. Maybe we stopped selling freaking Max Duggan jerseys. We wouldn't have the damn problem. Could you imagine these were the prices still? Pre-inflation? Super pre-inflation? Not a chance. Hamburger $6. Can't even get one in like a regular freaking grocery store for that price. Not true, but still, I mean, kinda. So what do I need to do? Save as much money on players as I can and like pocket the extra money? I acknowledge you. Maybe I shouldn't have done that actually. Maybe if I would have just left it, they would have been like, oh, I guess he never opened the letters. But we did get all the players back that we needed, and everyone else will be gone. Montgomery might have been worth something for a trade, but didn't do it at the deadline. It is what it is. I mean, I don't know what to do here. I can't really add more funds, and I think we just need home playoff games, even though we just won the freaking Super Bowl. Not that that's like, that means anything to anyone these days. Looking at free agency, though, Ben Monroe, he was a freaking good player, but we just have no one here that we need, so, just kind of keeping an eye on who is there, but don't actually need anyone. Although these linemen are kind of cheap. I'm going to actually look at these. There's so much talent on the offensive line that the contracts are actually pretty cheap for, like, most positions. So DT's on the list because I don't know if we're going to keep John Franklin Myers. Going to be 31, basically, on a new contract. Don't know if that's a good idea. Fisher needs a contract, so we got to save that money. Sam Williams is a very expensive backup. That will be someone we will not continue to keep. Same with the tight end. Evans will probably be let go. We'll see what the kind of market is and how much he's asking for. Nick Cross will be kept. So the main position, Kennedy needs a contract. So we need to save money, but the main position of need is DT, it seems, for the future. Linebacker also wouldn't hurt. So DT, linebacker, and another offensive lineman wouldn't hurt, but I don't think you let go of a superstar lineman like Hanks. Superstar is very hard to get, so probably going to keep him. Maybe let O'Neal go next contract, which is very soon, even after we just gave him a 2-year. So unfortunately, we do not have our own draft pick. There is a 6'4" corner that has a 1-2 grade, but obviously we don't really need corner that badly. I think McCollum's on like a 2 to 3 extra year deal, and obviously we just paid McKenzie like a 7-year, I don't even know, like 85 or something, so corner's not that big of a need, but if he's still there around 20, considering I don't really have any other things that I need, I might make the play, so I'm going to move to 20, and if he's there, I think I might trade up. We trade 50, 94, and Leo Chanel for 25, which is a pretty big jump in fairness, giving us our next pick at 18, which is a huge L. Under the trade up again because there's a center that looks really good. Probably trade up to the first pick in the third just to guarantee him. But I guess we're going to be taking this 6'4" corner, Damian Kendricks, 22 years old, very athletic. Boom. Yikes. Bad decision. Didn't even need him in general, but especially because of how bad he is with the dev. Usable, but just not really in a rebuild. We traded a 3rd and 6 this with a 5th next year to move up to 65 with the Buccaneers, which I believe will be the center. Looked pretty solid. Obviously, the dev is really what matters, as shown with that corner, as that corner went from really good pick, seemingly, to really bad decision. Hugh Lake is actually very good, too. Linebacker wouldn't hurt down the line either. I'm starting to debate now, Mr. Tyson Hauser. True solid center. I'm going to take him anyway. That's not good. There's some really good players here, actually, but I think we sold 2 normals, and it took me a mad trade up to get one of them. And most of my players are gone at this point. There's a lot of solid-looking running backs. Caleb McDonald, actually, looks pretty good as one of them, and Evans might be gone. Is it that big of a need, though? I don't know. I'm going to go just move on to 18 and see who's there, and just take best available at this point. I've accepted the L. This has been a mad L of a draft. And both the players I was looking at are there. So Deontay Warner, the bigger need technically, is going to be the choice. Hidden development trait. We don't hate it. And you know what? I might actually make the trade up with Miami to grab that running back as well. And maybe take double, back-to-back counter wins, I suppose. Or comebacks, if you will. Less draft picks, the better for our potential future firing as well. Left end, any players around here we can get rid of? We don't really have much depth at that DT spot. That's kind of the position we're looking to actually replace, but kind of maybe didn't. Jojo Neal. I don't know why they would want any of this. I guess it's actually not bad when you consider we are literally giving them a fourth. But take a look at the running back, see if we landed anyone decent. And if he's good, save some money by letting Zach Evans go. Caleb McDonald, 92 speed, 92 excel with hidden dev. We like it. Super realistic draft pick allocation and all that. I know. You know, it's 2 draft picks in total last season, and then this year trading all up and down all over the place. But I don't really care, to be honest. So let's take a look at who we landed. See if that corner was at least like, you know, decent overall. 74, 75, probably if I had to guess. Yep, 75. Center is terrible considering he's normal. Even if he wasn't, probably wouldn't be considered good in my book either. Or anyways, Warner probably makes it where Evans is going to be let go, unless Evans is asking for like next to nothing. Start Dev, and then the running back who looked pretty good, McDonald. You know, probably more of just a straight up power back. Kind of. I would definitely lean that way, especially with the size. Unlikely to be better than Star, but you never know. And nope. That's the draft class. Midodian. Here we go with the Season 2 team. Looking pretty good. I mean, obviously, money is usually what kind of derails very good teams, and might be the case here as well. This is a fantasy draft franchise 10-year rebuild, though. Don't even remember if we did one of these for any of our relocation franchises, so this could be a little different than normal, so we'll see what kind of happens, but regardless, year 2 after year 1 post Super Bowl win was a playoff miss. All right, 120 mil. Curtis Kennedy is on the list, and you already know. I mean, the way he played for us when we were playing, we were likely on par to have him retire as one of the greatest of all time. So, yeah, obviously going to keep him. I probably should have signed, honestly, John Franklin Myers to a longer-term deal. Hanks, we talked about. Linemen are, you know, kind of the position you lose a lot in these rebuilds if you're trying to go long-term, but a superstar lineman, I don't think I could let go. Fisher, I think, is the QB of the future, obviously, so we're going to try to give him a deal. It's going to, you know, a little bit on the lower side, but that's what he's asking for, so that's why I kind of started with that, but we will have to bump that up quite a bit. A 6-year 45 for Nick Cross. Another position, safety, you maybe let go, but I think the value is there. Same with Forrest Evans, another position that you probably let go, but the value is there. And for most rebuilds, I do kind of like bump the money up quite a bit more than they're asking for. But since this is a fantasy draft, the market obviously changes a little bit. So I am, for the most part, just going to follow what the actual fair offer ask is. And if they take it, oh well. I believe if we win, we will have the division. If we lose, you might still have it, and that is irrelevant because we win. The Bills at 11-6, and the Patriots at 10-7. Obviously, we know that the Bills made it because the Patriots made it at a lesser rating than them, or lesser win-loss than them. We're at 94 overall. I tried to lower the sliders a little bit, but it seems like we are just a snowball that has been filled with all of the snow, and we are going to crush some people. Looking at the numbers, though, Eli Fisher, pretty tame numbers, though. Tony House, really tame numbers, yards per carry-wise. Cody was very solid. Kenny was all right. Travis Jackson, decent, considering he was the number 1 wide receiver on my list this season with the slot role. So I was expecting more, but it's still a pretty good year. Could even get him a dev up, maybe, but he's already superstar, so that's fine enough anyways. Broderick Jones was super bad, which, considering we did offer, we gave up quite a bit to get him, is a bit of a disappointment. Thorne has been insane, though. Ojulari shows that he's worth the money, and then the interior not so bad themselves. And considering John Franklin Myers, I put him at number 2 because I need a Morris upgrade in dev. Still beating him out. Out. I said out, not off. Out. It's pretty impressive. Rayburn, don't know who the hell that is, but good job on the kick return touchdown, buddy. Take a look at the yearly awards. Bryce Young, the MVP. DJ Moore, who is just insane. Defensive Player of the Year, Dylan Thorne, the beast that he is. Best D-line as well. Seems like he is an X factor. Should have probably been one last season, wasn't. That's okay. And we're in the playoffs, but this is a 10-year rebuild, so unless we're in the actual Super Bowl, probably will not be looking. And, of course, we lose the very first game against the Patriots of all teams. We just don't have the time. You know, there's so many rebuilds where it's a 3-year rebuild, and because you make the playoffs like 2 or 3 times out of that, it's like the same. Guys, are we serious? Can I rejoin as them? Create a new character? Watch, I'm not even going to be able to be them. Can I be the head coach? Honestly, I don't really care. As long as I get to still be on the team. I got freaking kicked out because I was too broke. Bruh. They're like, yeah, nah, you too broke. Get the hell out of here, bum. Of course, the Packers do win the Super Bowl. Let's take a look at the dev-ups if we had any, other than Thorne. Thorne's obviously a guarantee, but dev-ups on offense do not appear to have existed. Thorne goes up at dev. There's so much red on my screen, it hurts. And unless Ojulari as well. I was about to say, the edge both went up in dev, which, I mean, is pretty nice, I suppose. So here we are. Zach Evans is not a bad backup. What's his actual yards per carry? Because we've been over it. Backups suck so much in the game. Yeah, our backup has been achieved from last year's draft. Sam Williams was an an expensive backup before. Don't think we need him anymore. I really don't. And Ellis never really had a chance, so maybe he finds a new team and finds himself as a starter. But everyone here, even Escobar, who is a great little role wide receiver, will be let go. But for the most part, if you're looking at this compared to what we needed to re-sign at the start of the season, we ended up pretty much getting everyone we needed back, and we have quite a bit of money left over. So we might actually keep this team intact for the rest of this thing, perhaps. And the best way to do that would be to not spend in free agency. So all of these players, while they are tempting, will be passed upon, I believe. Adrian Stefa, pretty interesting actually, but eight teams and that red interest, there's no shot there. So yeah, we're just gonna be drafted for potential future positions like edge or something. I don't know, something where we might not be able to afford them, O-line, and call another draft. I'm honestly, like I said, I really feel like maybe next Madden we just do like a sim or something just to follow the team. I don't know. It's so hard to rebuild a team that doesn't need a rebuild, Fifth-year option, Travis Jackson. I mean, he's already such a good overall. You might as well give him the fifth-year option, knock that out right away. And, I say knock that out right away, but I guess save some money and then do that contract later. And then another fifth-year option, which will be Dylan Thorne. He's already an X factor. He's already pretty high overall. I don't think it really matters, so you might as well go the fifth-year option to try and keep him cheap for a little bit longer and then pay him some crazy deal. But, yeah, I mean, we're trying to save as much money down the line. I think a tackle this season would make the most sense as the older Brian O'Neill needs a contract right now, and he's still giving up quite a bit of sacks right now, and he's going to be asking for a lot, so I think it's probably time to move on and save more money down the line. Colts at the first pick overall. We have 24, which I highly doubt I'm going to actually take someone here. The line class, offensive lineman class is actually kind of weak. And if I'm going to grab someone O-line-wise, I don't want to grab someone that's weak. So we're probably going to wait for maybe even Mason, maybe Creighton. Is a 2 to 3. House, probably don't need him. Kirkendall didn't scout him further because I was like, I don't really need that position. If I want a DT, I'll just go with John Henderson. Has a sick DT name anyways. So I'm probably going to trade this pick down, grab, maybe pick 12 or something in the second round, and then grab that tackle, I suppose. And I think the Steelers are giving me something close to that. So let's move on to 14, get a second round next year. I think that was an okay trade, I suppose. We're getting a pick for next year. Maybe we'll need more players next year than we do this season, as we're not really replacing anyone this year, but future replacing the tackle, I suppose, which, I mean, it's somewhat important. Tackle is still there as well. So Marcus Creighton, who's looking a little iffy, but he was the best of the best for tackles, is who we're going to take, and he is hitting. He's not the strongest guy, but key ratings look good. It's all that matters to me at this point. All right, so we have the left guard. The DT, John Henderson, looks pretty good too, and we don't really need linebackers. We ended up getting Evans, but Gray is interesting. I guess I really don't like that run block, but the A awareness, A impact is literally looking good. He's so bad at run blocking, but he just looks like one of those prototypical good pass blockers, just sucks at run block, but should be hidden. And he is. So he's going to be bad at run blocking, but he should still be an okay player in general. And I think we're going to trade up for the DT and maybe call it a draft. So we traded a 4th and a 5th next year with 88 to move up to 66 with the Lions, which will be the DT. We really didn't gain much for the future, but we do have that second round pick, I suppose. So losing that 4th and 5th doesn't really hurt as much with that knowledge. But with this pick, I believe the DT I think is worth taking. So John Henderson's going to be the choice. 6'3", 22. Another hidden. Fair enough. Not the hardest positions to get hiddens, in fairness, but still, it's better than getting normals, which very well could have happened. All right, okay, safety. It's a 6th-round pick. It doesn't really hurt to grab him, other than if you wanted to continue the hidden streak, because, well, that's gone. Got a fullback. I mean, all the fullbacks probably suck, so it is what it is, but Clinton might be needing to be replaced soon, so let's just get rid of that and not have to worry about it. Unless he's already gone, then forget anything I've said. It's too late. 73, 73, 73, 70, 68, 68. None of these guys are starters right now, so there's probably not really a point in checking them anyways. Season 3, once again, we really haven't changed much. It's more about thinking about the future. Creighton was our big pick, if you will. Mason was an okay one. We didn't really look at the guys. I probably should have looked at their actual ratings, but it is what it is. Oh my god, I knew he was going to be bad, but wow, there is a lot to unpack there. Defensively, though, pretty much everything intact, but it's a great group of players. Thorne is a 95 overall now, and he's only 24. He has killed it. He's played so well in Sim. One of the best rookies, or CPU-generated players I've seen play in Madden Sim. I mean, usually you don't see that from non-real-life players, but he's killed it, and well, I could see us maybe doing some damage. Let's see. I really hope the offense does better, though, because I think we're in the Chiefs playbook, if I'm not mistaken. And yet, here we are. Maybe go West Coast spread. I think, playbooks just depend. That's what depends on how good you do in a lot of sim situations. And we already have a really good team, so I don't want to get held back by some scheme. So I'm just going to go with Chiefs, and then if it doesn't work out, maybe I change to something that fits a little more, like maybe even the Buccaneers, because it actually is kind of like, I think Fournette's maybe a little bit more athletic than Tony House, but very similar kind of situation. Really good wide receivers, solid tight end, and quarterback that's decent. And your run game, it could be good, but you don't really need it to be. I think it might be all right to go with them if this doesn't work. 39 mil, and this is why we're talking about replacing O'Neal. As you can see, Ojulari needs a 3-year 70, and even though we do have the Travis Jackson and Thorne on 5th-year options, which aren't going to be too much more on the re-sign afterwards, it is cutting it a little close. And there's other names that we probably haven't even thought about yet, but Ojulari has proven himself to be that guy, and a 6-year 144 is even under market at this rate, so we would not hate it. Well, under market for real life in-game, it probably is a little bit different, but, not bad. I almost rolled right through the wild card because I didn't expect us to have a bye week, but here we are at 15-2. Back to our real miners ways. This is how the miners act. These are how miners act. You just can't expect a good or a bad day. You just don't know what you're going to get with these miners. But what we got here is a bye week, and didn't change the scheme, and it was better than last year. I don't know what to think about it because, once again, I had the Chiefs scheme on ever since, last season, I suppose. But very good numbers this time. Interceptions a little high, but for real life concerns, it's fine. It's good. It's fine in general. And I wonder if House got to 90 plus overall. Oh, he's definitely over 90 overall. Speed's at 91 now. Juke move's iffy, but that truck and stiff arm is insane. How is that not maxed or close to max power back? That's kind of crazy. Receivers, Travis Jackson should be X factor with that. Rest of the numbers, though, I got to admit, kind of iffy. O-line. Is it really worth keeping O'Neal when he's giving up 11 sacks at the left tackle? Asking for 20-some mil per year, probably not. Thorne, I don't care what he wants. He's getting whatever it takes to keep him. He has been insane. The rest, even Ojulari, a little bit of a down year. I suppose John Franklin Myers is pretty good. And then interceptions, actually not bad this season. A couple of 4 interception guys. Kazu, who's got probably another year or 2 left on the contract, is playing much better. Evans, insane punter, really good. Kicker and for kick return, punt return, not really doing a whole lot there. But as far as awards go, I don't know if we would have won anything major. Joe Burrow winning 3 out of 4 MVPs in the last several years. Defensive Player of the Year again, actually, from Thorne, who's been insane. Best wide receiver, Jackson. Best D-line, Thorne. And that is it. But those are some pretty good award wins. We'll take it, and we will be rolling into the divisional round as we do not have a game because we got the bye week. The Barons. The Brooklyn Barons. Why couldn't this have happened? Or did we? Did we? Actually, maybe we played them. Maybe not in the playoffs, but of course they lose by 1. I want to see what happened. Was it Kazu? Just please, for the love of God, not let it be Kazu. How is this team selling? It's so good. 1 touchdown. They threw a pick with 0 passing touchdowns. Tony House had 3 rushing touchdowns. Okay. Kicking. Kazu, you bum. Well, another lackluster finish for the Niners. Not in control by us. Who would have thought? The Niners win the Super Bowl, and we might have ourselves some dev-ups. Even Travis Jackson, he got best wide receiver on top of it, so he should be. Doesn't go up in dev. Are you kidding me? Ojulari seemed to have gone to X Factor, though, which that wasn't really expected. So don't know what's going on there, but I guess we'll take the trade-off. All right, O'Neal already regressing anyways, so even if we did want to keep him, probably wouldn't have been a good decision anyways. But 36 mil, unless there's some really solid deal we can get on an offensive lineman in free agency, we're probably going to pass that up and continue to draft for future prevention, if you will. Prevention of loss, which sounds like really serious. Sewell's a great player, but 20 mil per year probably isn't worth it. CJ Stroud's an X factor. Okay. Looking at Kyle Hamilton, not bad. I mean, there's some really good players here, but like I said, unless it's offensive lineman related, probably just going to keep rocking with what we've got. I mean, I think we're doing pretty well for ourselves. We're just not getting the lucky draw, which, I mean, that's just uncontrollable. Doesn't matter how good of a team you build. EA will do what they want. All right, so I trade 28 and 92 this. Well, I guess the 6 rounds this as well. 420. Just boy. But we're going to be taking an edge rusher here in Mr. Lucas. Don't even really need the position, but we don't really need anything. And it's not easy to find edge rushers. And this guy looks very, very good. 6'5", 275, 21 years old, athletic for that size with an A power move. I think he's worth taking. And he is hidden. He's actually very solid. And then even though we may not actually need a tackle because we just drafted one last year, I really like the tackle that I've seen in this one. He's a 2-3, assuming he is there, because I have seen these guys jump high. But Gallimore looks very solid, and I may even try to make a play for Ford. Kind of want Ford more, though, to be honest. Gallimore is an actual tackle, though. 39 reps, and then Gallimore with 36. I like both of them. I think I'd rather go with the guard first, though. Is there any other players? I really don't care about any of the other players, honestly. I'm sorry. But Demarius Ford, who is normal, is the guy I play or pick, which is not great. Let's move to like the Patriots pick or something like that. I don't know why I even decided to do that, but let's make a play, make a baby. Sure, let's make a baby. Why not? So let's finish the draft, make the baby, call it a day. We now have only a 6-round pick remaining because we made a trade using a 4th next and a 7th this with our pick 60 move up 17 spots. I mean, I like the left tackle, but the other guy was better on the surface. But Gallimore, the true left tackle, let's see what he can do. In development trade, very strong. We like it. This quarterback's actually not bad. Good throw power, some okay accuracy. 6-rounder, why not? 90 throw power. You could use that. Don't know what his accuracies are, but you could definitely use that. Throw power is 90. I was going to say nice, and I almost ended up turning into Borat. I'm my quarterback. Yep, great, my wife. I'm my wife. Yep, top notch. I doubled down on it. I should not have. 76 overall for the left end. Don't really need him, but I am curious to see who that dev is, because if I don't, someone's going to be like, oh, he did that for the future proofing, even though this guy's probably going to end up... Okay. That's pretty insane, but even with that knowledge, he'll probably end up leaving the team. He's not even hidden. He'll end up leaving the team without even playing a freaking snap or starting snaps, as he probably will be the backup at all positions with that X factor, but in general probably won't become the starter. Is Thorne can't be let go, and we literally just paid Ojulari 6 years, so yeah. Could use a depth wide receiver, Isaac Knox for DeAndre Humphrey, 77 overall for 74. So, I mean, unless that Humphrey guy, or not Humphrey, Knox was like a star plus dev player, I don't feel bad about it. He's normal, so he is younger, but, our guy is also a fair player to trade with, or for. It is year 4. The left tackle has changed, but nothing else has, which I'm pretty proud to be able to announce. And then, I mean, basically across the board, even on defense, maybe lost some depth, but Eddie Jackson's the new backup safety, and Lucas is an X-factor defensive end that is literally not even able to play because we have so much talent in front of him. So to put into perspective how well we're playing at the Week 12 mark, I think 1 or 2 wins, and we have the division locked up. Thorne, his value is immense. He has played crazily well, 7-year, 155. Once again, another very good contract for us. But I will say, even though we have the... Oh, maybe we don't have the money, actually. Even if we have, quote-unquote, the money, Travis Jackson's kind of looking... But he might be on the way out. I mean, we're not able to afford players. I think McCollum is out, to be honest. I like him. Obviously, he's, an insane interception man. But if we're going to choose between a 90 overall 30-year-old or an 83 overall 24-year-old... who is asking for like half, I think you choose the corner. Punter, I kind of want to keep, but we'll see. So punter, corner, DT. I don't know if we can keep Travis Jackson. I think the god may be gone. Yeah, we have 14 mil left, and I mean, we've paid everyone we mainly needed to. We just can't afford our boy. We can't afford Travis Jackson. 11 mil left. We'll see if maybe that changes next season or, when the season's over, but I don't think it's going to happen. And I know it's crazy to let a 95 overall wide receiver go, but I have really no choice. I think it's hard. It's not hard to get DTs or edge rushers, but it's hard for them to actually perform well. And the two we just re-signed perform well every single time. And the AI does what we could not, and that is go 17-0. We almost double the next highest team in the division for win total. This is a special season. Please let us go to the Super Bowl at least. Please. I beg of you. Could finish the undefeated season as an AI team. It's one thing to do a user. It's another for the AI to do it. There's so much sim unluckiness that can happen. Fisher, very good season. Tony House, solid. Kennedy, very good. Cody, okay. Dunn, okay. Jackson, okay. Blocking, left tackle Gallimore stepped in and did better than Brian O'Neill, technically. Ojulari with 16.5 sacks. I can't believe how well Thorne's playing, as he is easily on par to be one of those 200-sack guys. John Franklin Myers with 10 sacks, and then interceptions. McKenzie with 6. Kicking, missing 3 out of 14 for Kazu, and then Evans. There's a reason why I just re-signed him to a 2-year 5. 4, maybe? I don't know. Either way. Thorne, probably player of the week, or player of the year again on defense. I'm kind of curious. So Fisher at 5, thought maybe he would have been on the list just in general for MVP. But Joe Burrow, going to retire with the most MVPs ever. Player of the year, Kennedy on offense. Feel it. Okay, I got to take a look at my man Uzuma. Best quarterback, best wide receiver, runner-up for best D-line, best corner. Yeah, I got to take a look at this Browns D-lineman because, he stole everything, yet we had 24 sacks. What did he put up? 28. Damn. He's kind of balling. He's cooking up. Let's see, though. Can we cook up a Super Bowl win and the undefeated season, which would be, Fisher would be up there all time, and we are going against our division rival. We win. Fair enough. The Steelers, 11-6. Please. We win. We're going in against the Rams. We have a near 99 overall team. They have 87. Watch us lose. Just watch. Here it is. Can we go undefeated? You would think that this is almost a given, right? This would be fate. Anything but a win would seem like it's rigging. 21-10 is not a bad start for the first half. Also, did not change the quarter length to 15 minutes, which doesn't matter in normal sim, but in this it kind of does. But it's actually going to help us as this team has gone undefeated. I don't know if we did that this Madden maybe once recently enough. I kind of feel like maybe we did, but I don't know. Can't guarantee it. But we can with this Niners team, and there are still years left to go. 5, technically 6 more to be exact. And the Sacramento City Miners Relocation Fantasy Draft franchise team has went the whole undefeated season and have become Super Bowl champions yet again, pretty much made up of all the guys we have drafted during the, franchise period where we were playing. Added a couple of players here, since this 10 years started, but for the most part, it's basically the same squad, and it's insanely impressive. We already seen him hoist the Lombardi. Let's take a look at the numbers, though. Fisher killed it. Rushing, very good yards per carry. Just didn't run the ball that much. Bryce Cody was insane. Travis Jackson with 2 touchdowns. I would love to keep Travis Jackson. We're going to see what we can do. Don't know if there's anything we can, though. Interceptions, was there any? There was not. Kicking, Kazu was perfect as well, and it's the undefeated perfect season. We will show you guys you didn't force any wins or anything like that. Not that it really matters too much because, we went 17-0 in the regular season. It'd be pretty absurd to even pull that off, let alone, only winning 3 games in the playoffs. Oh, real hard to do. Boom. I actually didn't check if we had any dev ups. Maybe a defender. I don't think offense would have done it. Oh, Fisher. He was not an X Factor before, right? My man's pro reads. Romy Deadeye tight out, Fearless. Some of these are not the best, but they're not bad either. And then look at the defensive side of things. We see no one going to dev. It felt like it was, but I think it's just because Lucas is an X factor now. So we have 35 mil. Jackson is still apparently not super interested in re-signing. I know the tag is going to be freaky high. I'm willing to go up to a 4-year 92. I mean, I did what I could. What's that tag? 31 mil. I mean, our best chance might just be trying to get him back in free agency. McCollum's good, but I think it may be time to move on from him. You know, we can still afford him, though. A 1-year 13.9, we can still afford him, especially since Jackson left. I'm going to see if there's anything we can do. The problem with doing these types of 10-year rebuilds, after the good 4 or 5 season mark, there's usually not a guy that you can like just release and save money on. As you can see here, there just aren't any. So the money you have is usually the money you're going to be stuck with. It very well could be trade up hard as hell time, and everyone wants Travis Jackson, which... why the F wouldn't you? That is super pain to lose him. But, I mean, you see I offered a 4-year 92, which is, I mean, probably more money than even Kennedy wanted, and Kennedy's the GOAT. I don't think there's going to be an option here to replace him either. I can see why they want him so bad. Ooh, who's this? Who is this? Can we have 2 6'4" plus wide receiver? How old is he? 25 is a little on that edge for me. I wonder if he sucks because he wasn't starting. He started once, and he wasn't even bad. I think 25 is just a little too old, even with Superstar Dev. And the best I could do is probably match. Maybe. That's the best I can do, and it's not even going to come close. Well, we'll see if we can try to get him. It's not going to happen. He is now a New Orleans Saint. Of course, we do have done, so we're not done for. But, yeah, we need to draft wide receiver ASAP. And I said draft, not giraffe. Might be able to call this a little excessive, but Warner for pick 86 to the Saints, ironically enough. Give Travis Jackson someone he knows from the team. I don't know, but getting a 3rd-round pick for a fast start development trade linebacker who needs a contract is a win in my book. All right, so I may end up trading for a cornerback, or not trading for, drafting a cornerback here. Floyd Harold looks very fast, and I have a wide receiver that's a 2-3, so Floyd Harold's going to be the choice. In development trade with 95 speed, truly elite corner and speed. And I'll probably go to like 10, and if the wide receiver's there, which I'm really hoping he is because he's fast. Gray went, he was a 1-2, so you would assume a 2-3 would be there at 10. At least I hope so. We'll trade up for him, and I don't know what we'll be left with, but he'll probably be worth, it'll be probably a pretty good draft pick. So let's move up to the Chiefs pick. I don't know what this is going to cost us, but going to make the play. As we lost a wide receiver, it's time to gain one back. Also a very speedy one as well. We got that 3rd-round pick, so that should help and be enough, hopefully, for this trade to be completed. And it is. We get 42. Wide receiver is going to be ours, and we still have a little bit of draft pickage for maybe, I don't know, lineman or something. But let's take Mr. Braylon Andrews, who looks really good with the bees, has a C catch in traffic. Not as fast as Jackson, but should still be pretty good. Braylon Andrews, also hidden. 95 speed, 97 excel. Very good athleticism ratings. 5'11", 21 years old. He's good. He's going to be, well, one of the starting wide receivers for some time. I don't know if he'll be the number 2 right out of the gate, but at least one of the top 3. We trade all of this to move up to 65, so we're going to be taking a linebacker. I don't know if we need a linebacker this season, next season. One of the seasons, we may need one, and this guy is insanely athletic. I will say his block shed is probably going to be so freaking bad, but what can you do about it? Play rec's great, pursuit's great, and he's insanely athletic, so Donald Woodward is going to be my choice. Sadly normal, but that jumping is insane too. He is very athletic. B, kick accuracy, very elite in a lot of different ratings. Is this guy a generational punter? He's normal, but still pretty sick. A couple of trade offers, the running back, and Kendricks did not get a running back in the draft, so will not be getting rid of the running back. 74, 76, 72, and he was definitely not a generational. I guess I'll take a look at Andrews because he has the most, like, now ability. A little bit worse of a router, but it does have some similarities between him and Travis Jackson. Star development trait, but you know what can you do? We've downgraded, not even really by choice, but Harold, decently fast corner, obviously, and not going to be a starter right out of the way, so there's really no point in me even looking at him. But probably going to be letting go of McCollum this season, as we did pay the corner that we drafted recently enough that never even started yet a decently long contract, so he needs to be the number 2 like yesterday. So he just needs to start after the season. I don't know if it's going to be a good enough team to win a Super Bowl now, but it still looks pretty good to me. It is now officially year 5, and the team definitely looks different this time as our wide receiver 2 has changed. Dunn has now moved up the ranks as a 29-year-old, but very good short and medium route runner, and, the release never got there, but he is a solid player nonetheless. And I guess just for quick, because obviously these guys are going to probably regress, if not retire, before the rebuild's over. Holy crap. I want to take a look at how good they were. He's now 94 speed, and he's damn near 99 everything. He's so good. And now, you know what? I want to take a look at Bryce Cody as well. He's 99 overall as well. 28 years old, 96. I mean, look at the route running. Speed never really got there, but 86 speed with that size is good enough anyways. And then looking at the defense, I don't think really anything changed here either. We even kept McCollum around. How old is McKenzie? 29, so he might just make it for the rest of this rebuild. But we do obviously have some youngsters that are waiting for their turn, including Taylor and Harold. Linebacker might need to be replaced soon, but Tyndall ended up becoming pretty good. 30 years old. Insane zone coverage, block shed's okay, but he's very athletic, which kind of makes up for the lack of block shedding, if you will. But yeah, this is a solid team. Let's see if we can go win another Super Bowl. I doubt it's going to be an undefeated one again season, but you never know, to be fair. It's still a really good team, best in the league. The very highest we went was a season of 23 straight wins, and then we actually lost a few. Mike Morris, not bad, can be resigned, but should he be? 96 power move. I think it's going to be decided on by how well he's playing, I suppose. A lot of these guys, sometimes their overall is the only thing that carries him, but if he's actually playing well, he might stick around. He's been pretty mid, got to be honest, so I think we're going to replace him, even though this is probably his best season he's had yet, especially in Sim. And McDonald's not a bad backup, but I think we replace him. I think we even replace Kazu, which is crazy to think, but kickers don't really last as long in game as they do in real life. He's been a little iffy. I guess I've kind of grown with him a little bit, so I kind of want to keep him. And McDonald's not bad, but he is asking for quite a bit. He is very talented. No, I don't want to see the depth chart. I just want to see how much he costs or how well he's playing anyways. 4-year 20, probably the best I do. Best yards per carry so far, but he is a backup after all. The most I'll do is this 4-year 20, and that's it. That's where I draw the line. Definitely nowhere near as good of a season. We were the 3rd place team in the division. On top of it, the Dolphins with the lead off, which is surprising. I'm not even going to pay attention to the. You've seen we didn't cheat for an undefeated 20-0 season. I don't feel like you would assume we would have cheated for a 10-7, right? Maybe that's just my idea, but pretty good touchdowns, pretty good yards, interception a little bit higher than we're used to. House really not getting the carries. McDonald, was there an injury or something? Playing a lot of snaps here. Looking at the receivers, the tight end wasn't great. The receivers are okay. O-line is playing really well, actually. Ojulari and Thorne exactly 23 each. Morris is pretty good, best of his career. And then John Franklin Myers, of course, the worst of his career, which is just sad. McCollum, 4 interceptions, the highest he's had. 3 interceptions. Kicking, wow, why did I re-sign Kazu? Evans, one of his lower seasons, but still good enough, over 50 yards per punt. That's really all we ask for most of the time. And Burrow wins. Burrow. I don't know, dude. It's Joe Burr, but, here we are. Some award wins. Defensive Player of the Year for Thorne. Somehow Rookie of the Year for Andrews. Did he actually play well? Dunn is, I think, an X Factor. Thorne with another D lineman win. Okay, things are kind of getting crazy. So Andrews had 1 touchdown and had 655 yards, and that's Rookie of the Year. I'm sure of it. Here we are going up against the Houston Texans. We have them by 6 overalls, but we'll see. And wow, we lose right out the gate. So undefeated season Super Bowl win to 10-7 wild card loss. Travis Jackson must be him, and Travis Jackson hopping ship to the right team. Might have win a Super Bowl back-to-back. And he does! Holy crap, he knows things. Wow. That is kind of crazy. He won another Super Bowl. I don't think we would add any retirements, but, it's been a while since I've looked at this, so maybe I'll take a quick look, see if we did. Darnell Savage, but he was, free agent pickup. Kind of crazy, though. 33 years old with 93 speed and the mentor tag. Kind of crazy for that speed and age. McCollum's still usable, but I think it is finally time to rip the Band-Aid off. Same with Morris. Look for a new DT. Kind of just never got a chance, but he was normal dev, so what can you expect? And McDonald wants even more money than before. So 24 mil, probably not going to spend any of it because we are kind of up against it. We're losing players every single season. This time it's more of an age thing than an actual salary thing, but still we would have been really close against it if we were to keep the guys that we let go. And, I mean, there's going to be great players in here, but at the end of the day, we just really can't afford them. Can I not just play that DN that we got who's 275 pounds at DT? That's pretty big in our, what is it called? Our online league where we have what most people in the comment section usually say dumb or very, very strict rules. I believe we have it at 275 to play DT. I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying. I mean, he's pretty big. Give me JJ Watt. He's nowhere near as good as him probably, but, you know, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You can't stop me. I'm going to do it. What do you do? Tell me to, you know, get me back in time and stop me because it's not going to happen. It's just too late. Linebacker might be a need, and I suppose we still look at DT even though we kind of just solved that already. All right, pick 20. I actually have no idea what the hell I want to draft because we don't really have anyone of need this moment, I don't believe, but we are definitely needing someone soon. Linebacker was looking a little iffy. These are the players that are there. I might take Sal Gomez because he reminds me a lot of the guy that we just took who was playing DT for us. So realistically, I think it's a good decision. Sal Gomez is going to be my choice here at 20, 6'4", 275. Very similar to the other guy in athleticism as well, but this time definitely not as good. Like, definitely not as good. We traded 52 this and a fourth next year for 42, which is going to be used on that tackle. I didn't even really have like a super idea that I was going to be going for him, but that 1 to 2 grade as a 2 to 3 projected, I think is just too valuable not to take unless there's somebody else here that I want. I think I like that linebacker, so maybe trade up for him. The tight end's not bad either, but I think John Middleton is going to be the choice. He's also a Wisconsin lineman, which usually are pretty good in the game. Let's go for him, and hit development trade. Looks great. We traded 84 this and 2 pick. Oh, that's actually all for this year. A 5th and a 6th for 65, which we're going to be using on the linebacker. That is definitely one of the biggest positions in need going forward. As you know, our Evans is kind of young, but he's like star dev, and then Dean's 30, and I think Tyndall's 31. And things are getting desperate out here. We're getting old, and with that, we are going to be taking. Where the hell did he go? There he is, Darren Henson. The left outside linebacker with some speed, A-zone coverage as well, and normal, you trash can. He's useless. Creighton needs contract soon enough, so I probably will trade him off for some value, but obviously normal dev here, I don't know, the dev here, and then just a bum here, and then these two guys are trash. So not a very good draft class, but I suppose that DN would be usable, but he's just going to be a backup at this point, which I guess we did need. Creighton for Lowry is a 26-year-old linebacker who I think may have already been paid, plus he 4th and a 6th. Why not? It is now season 6. We ended up getting the guy that we were looking at some time ago in Kyrie Carmichael to be our backup running back. Pretty fast, pretty elusive. Different style of back, I suppose. Receivers are... Oh, yeah, I forgot he got to super... I was like, how did he get to superstar? He was star, but he won Rookie of the Year, which... Super deserved, right? Hey, he's the number 3 for now. Can we make the playoffs and do well? Like we went 10-7 and it wasn't great, but this is a good team. Corner 2 takes a hit. You know, maybe some of the other guys regress. I don't really know every overall by heart. Thorne's 27 years old, but yet he's literally maxed. I mean, he's insane, dude. And I only have the edge sliders on 131, which I mean it's kind of high, but you know you compare him to Ojulari. And Ojulari's not even a 99 yet, and he was, you know, he had a head start. But yeah, that's this 94 mil. Carmichael is a little bit on the older side to re-sign. I think Bayer is just a backup. It's got to be somebody here. House, the value's decent. So is it for Broderick Jones. Dean, I think Dean will get the contract. Dunn, we're desperate, so we have to keep him. Tyndall, I think you let go. John Franklin Myers, you probably let go. Mason already needs a contract. Did we just draft him? Maybe he gets a contract because it's cheap, but no one really super significant that we're going to be really losing that isn't already old anyways. All right, here we are in the playoffs, back to the bye week, and yeah, 14-3. Not quite undefeated, but a very good season. Best season of Fisher's career, actually. Maybe even MVP. House just got a 3-year, $33 million deal, and he probably isn't worth it. Glad to pay that. Kennedy, his best year yet. Cody was very solid. Andrews was decent, and Dunn was useless. Looking at the O-line, pretty good. Thorne, 25 sacks. He's just him. Ojulari's played pretty well, too. John Franklin is amazing, even though he'll be gone. And then Lucas, first year as the DT, 5 sacks, which is okay. A lot of interceptions, actually, for CPU. And then Kazu has just been garbage. He's just been so bad. Yearly awards, did we finally win one? No, it is Artie Clinton over Eli Fisher. I don't even see Burrow. Did he retire? I'm going to be so mad if he did, because I really wanted to see how many MVPs he ended up with. But Curtis Kennedy, Offensive Player of the Year, best QB, best wide receiver, and that appears to be it. The wild card round is over. We now move on to the divisional. The Jaguars at 86 overall are here to face us. We beat them. Then we play the Barons. We're still about 10 overalls higher. We win that one. And even though it is the Super Bowl, it's not a super common thing, we have already won one user and in this AI sim situation. So we're just going to sim this as well because it is a long rebuild after all. And the winner of this one is not us, sadly. So unfortunately, it will be a non-Niners win. Could have been number 3 in this realm. Instead, we fall short by 10 to the Niners, who got their revenge against us. Fisher was great, just players around him kind of sold. Tony House is just not a good running back in sim. And it makes a lot of sense that we are moving on from them. The price is high. I guess not for John Franklin Myers too much, but 86 overall. I think he's reached his limit. It may be DT time. So we have 33 mil to spend on some sort of... who the hell is that? That guy is insane. 97 freaking speed. Not really a positional need, sadly. But, yeah, we have some money. But who the hell do we spend it on? DT wouldn't be a worst-case scenario, but I think we could probably fill that in the draft. None of these guys are really pass rushers. I guess this guy is, but he's not really worth it. Where's our guy? Where's my dude? Did he retire? Oh, no, Mike Morris is not even... I was thinking of Mike Morris, but John Franklin Myers, 87 finesse. I mean, do you not grab him for another year? Maybe give it another chance? I don't know. We got to the Super Bowl, just barely lost. I think we saved the money, actually. We need a linebacker and a DT. All right, here we are in the draft. We needed a DT. There's a couple of them. Is the guy that I wanted the most there? I think Burton was the guy. A power move. Not a super common thing to see. Pretty strong. It's all hit or miss. He could easily be normal. And, of course, he is. Nice. I'm not trading up, so whoever's there is there. I might have to double dip on this DT position, to be honest. Our next pick after this would be the late third, which hopefully we can find a linebacker for at that point. I don't know if I have any more DTs, do I? Running back was on the list, but meh. Tight end looks really good, too. John Schwain. Nice. Excel sucks, but everything else is great. I don't think we need tight end just yet, and we just whiffed on DT, so we might need a redraft. Andrews looks pretty good. I think you have to trade up for Gilmore. So Andrews is going to be the guy, 21 years old. Thankfully hidden. The other guy is probably just going to be back up for the rest of his career. And then we're going to trade up here for linebacker, which we've actually done quite a bit of. And it's almost always a normal dev lineman or linebacker, but hopefully not this time. It actually took more than I thought it was going to. 97 this and 148 next with 95 to move up 30 spots, which is, I mean, pretty significant in fairness, but I mean, we basically gave up 2 late thirds for a high. I guess that makes sense. You know what? The more I think about it, the more it starts to make sense. This pick is going to be the linebacker. Maybe finally we get a hidden development trade one, but fast Devontae Gilmore is hidden development trade and probably a plug-and-play starter. We're going to take a kicker for the future. Mac Lucas, the best there is. B accuracy, good kick power, and yeah, not great, but I mean, he's the best available. I ended up trading both of those late 5th and early 6th round picks away for some draft picks next year. And then this pick, I think we might need another fullback actually, you know, we kind of need a running back. I might just look for someone that's like kind of hefty and just grab them. Alrighty, let's take a look at our draft recap. 74, 72, 73, 69, 61. This DT is going to be the starter simply because he is hidden. 81 finesse, which is actually really good. So I want to take a look at the dev. Obviously, the other guy was normal. This guy, star, not much better, but something. And then, is it a left out? I think it is left out that we need. But Devontae Gilmore, iffy block shed, very solid zone, athletic. Maybe a superstar? Can we get like somebody over a star? Nope. Holy crap, this teams need tackle bad. Look at the freaking offers we're getting. I don't know who any of these guys are, but 84 overall left end. I mean, I don't know if he's like 30 years old, whatever, but I'm willing to take him. What was he? 28. He's a superstar, though. Very slow, but usable. We got ourselves some depth. Why not? It is now Season 7. Fisher's an X-Factor. I mean, a lot of people are X-Factors. Who isn't these days? But Dunn does have that 4-year deal, so we're going to try to focus on him getting to X-Factor with him being in the slot and the number 2 and all that, but we'll see if that even happens. We probably need a new left guard soon enough, and then Jones may need a contract. Don't know what the money situation's like, but DT is definitely taking a step back, but I suppose at least Lucas is a very good, player to play DT, even if he's not playing well there. Went with the run stopper because they're just going to keep upgrading power move on their own anyway. So anytime I can catch these players out with an upgrade point, I will try to upgrade their lower attribute, obviously. But a lot of the guys, a lot of our favorites are like 30-plus years old now, which definitely plays a little bit of the factor into, how long will we have left. Technically 4 seasons left if you consider this one as well. And then Taylor, when the hell did he get Superstar? He got it from, I don't know what, but pretty damn clutch to get it, as he is 87 overall, 27-year-old. Being star still as the future corner, if you will, would definitely be a bit of a problem, but it's an okay enough squad. Let's see if we can get another Super Bowl win. Seems like we win one, 3 or 4 years later we win one, maybe another 3 or 4 years later we win another. I don't know. So I kind of want to catch Joe Burrow before he retired, which, I mean, he might actually even still be here by the time we're done. He might outlast this damn rebuild, but 7 Pro Bowl appearances, but 1 MVP, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 MVPs. Jesus. And he probably won't be at 35, but very close to, I would imagine. How in the world did he win 7 MVPs? That's crazy. Pretty busted. Mid-season checkup, whatever the hell, QB checkup. +4 to deep and medium throwing for Eli Fisher, which now maxes him out at both of those ratings. Short accuracy isn't great. Throw power never went up since we used him, though. Although, I guess to be fair, he could have went down because for whatever reason, EA, the genius coders that they have, for whatever reason, decided that at the end of the season, even if you were in your prime, that you would maybe lose throw power this, any random given time, even if you're like in the prime of your life and you never had an injury in your career. I don't know why, but that could have also played a factor. Maybe he was like 96, 97 at some point and dropped off. Who knows? 71 mil. Randolph was just a random guy that we ended up getting for a draft pick trade. I can't believe Gallimore is that high of an overall, but it might cost us too much to keep him. And then Zion Johnson is a guy that I was actually really willing to let go, but because his ask is so low, I might keep him. Kazu's gone. He's been such a sell. And then we ended up getting Kendricks back from free agency because nobody wanted him. We actually have a lot of money here, and not a whole lot of players to re-sign. So I'm just hoping Lucas isn't asking for too much, which it really isn't when you compare it to what he probably should be making as an X Factor. So a 7-year 77, which is insane theft, which makes me want to keep Gallimore. He's actually played really well, too, for a CPU-generated tackle. In general, the game is pretty harsh against any tackle, let alone CPU-generated. I want to see how good Zion Johnson is. Never got higher than star, which is pretty common, to be fair. He's good. He's not asking for that much. If I can give him a 1-year 5, I don't see why I would replace him, even if he regressed. I mean, why would I replace him? We have 37 mil left. We'll need a new kicker potentially, backup running back potentially. But other than that, as far as the re-signings players go, no one to replace, but obviously there could be some guys that regress really hard or need a contract the following year. I don't know, but as of right now, I don't hate it. All right, here we go to the playoffs. It was a shaky season, but it was for the whole division that it was a shaky season. 10-7 somehow only. Tony, wow, I just noticed that the running backs of the league are all garbage. Oh, wait, I don't know what I was looking. No, it wasn't my fault. Something glitched out, and it showed that Tony House was third at like 800 yards or something. I don't even know what happened there, but yeah, that threw me off really hard, but okay. The running backs don't suck. It's just glitched or something. I'm probably going to have to look back at that when I'm editing it. I don't know what happened there, but Fisher, really good season yet again. Tony House, higher than the numbers that we even seen. A lot of rushing touchdowns in general. Dunn, definitely not going to get a dev up, but 3 guys over 1,000, which is pretty good. Andrews really hasn't done much, but tackles, 10 sacks allowed is basically like allowing, I don't know, 4 or 5 in real life. Sack totals, the edge, insane. Lucas, pretty good, 7.5. He's improved. interceptions. Pretty good total. Kazu played well, but not well enough to get re-signed, especially at his age. Evans got a punt block, but 53.8 yards per punt. I don't know if he needs a contract. Might get it, because that was actually pretty good. MVP? Don't think it would have been for Fisher. Mahomes. Where the hell is Joe Burrow, man? He's just gone. He went from winning like every single MVP to like not even being barely on the list. Defensive Player of the Year was Thorne, and then Ojulari right next to him. That duo has been insane since they got paired up. Gilmore, Defensive Rookie of the Year, should be a dev up there. Thorne, best D lineman. He's won it like a billion times. He's going to give Joe Burrow a run for his money on award wins. But the Patriots, who defeated us some time ago when we were, 14-3, I think, losing here. Now it's the Bengals. We're still way higher overall than pretty much everyone we face. We beat them as well. Now on to the Colts. Playing in Indy, winning that one. And then the Dallas Cowboys, who are busted in sim. We're still a 97 overall, believe it or not, surprisingly. Facing against one of the highest teams we've seen this whole 10-year rebuild in a 92 overall Cowboys team. And we lose again. Now 2-4. Well, 2 of 4. 2-2 in Super Bowls since this situation has started. This 10-year rebuild. Well, technically longer because the years we played as well, but 2 interceptions from Fisher. This time it actually kind of was his fault. Wait. How did he... Big run? Okay. I don't know why that just threw me off. I'm just not used to seeing him put those kind of numbers up. Defensively, sack totals are pretty tame. Interceptions, 2 for Trent McDuffie. He's usually pretty good in sim and becomes like a really good player, but 11 years in the league, technically probably his 12th. I mean, well, actually, I don't know if it might have already updated because the season technically ended, but 11 years, 12 years, whatever, he can't be that good still, right? He must be kind of iffy. Either way, let's take a look if we had any dev ups. I doubt we would have had any on offense. Not on offense. And Andrews, even though he doesn't play it, is a higher overall. Defensively, Nick Cross, which could be significant because he is on the older side now. It's crazy to ever see a guy, to see Nick Cross being old. 99 Excel. Where's the speed upgrades? Very good, and that X Factor is kind of clutch. We need anyone we can to get to an X Factor. If we got all of our 30-year-olds to X Factor, we might just be able to retire with those guys, or finish the 10-year rebuild with those guys as they retire. But team's still intact. We're getting to Super Bowls. We're just not winning them. Resignings, we should have a tiny bit of money. It seems like you usually get about 15 extra mil than you had during the season. So we'll see if that's the case here. And like I said, pretty much on par, on the money. 49 mil. I think we had, no, it might have been 37 actually. I don't know. Either way though, we have money. Just no one that we need to re-sign. I guess Love, because he has the mentor tag still, I think. I'd be willing to do, I maybe should have done more than 1 year, but 1 year, 1.2 for a non-proven guy is fair enough. And everyone else, I don't think we need 48 mil to maybe go off and grab like actually with the defensive linebacker, as opposed to the offensive linebacker, probably would have went up in dev, right? And he's superstar. So maybe look for another linebacker to replace Evans. It might be a little early to replace Andrews, but we'll see if there's like somebody that's kind of cheap and we can, 1-to-1. Harold? Where the hell did he become an X Factor? What the hell is happening here? I'll take it, but I don't know when the hell that happened. Okay, my man's just getting all the cheese. We'll take it. Tackle maybe. I mean, pretty much the usual stuff. There's, no one that needs to be like bumped to the front of the list for who we need, but maybe DT would be like our number one because, we do have a pretty low overall DT2 right now, even though he is, he was a rookie last season. Surtan's still really good at 33, but this is why I'm talking about like McDuffie. McDuffie isn't as good as Surtan out the gate, usually, I don't think. Okay, we did start this after he would have gotten the big upgrades in overall pretty much. But, yeah, I mean, I think that's accurate, right? Josh Bush proving why, Zion Johnson was so cheap. Nobody wants these guys for some reason, which makes me really wish we would have went for him instead of re-signing good old Zion. I mean, we could still afford him, so maybe we do take him anyways. Mike Morris finally got to superstar, but he's beyond at this point. But there is talent. I don't know outside of the guard if I'll be going for any of them, though. The champ is here! I forgot I even offered some contracts, but Josh Bush was a super good deal, and then Mike Morris is back on a 1-year deal, which he's actually still a pretty good pass rusher, and, I mean, we can still draft him behind the scenes, just not start them right away. Floyd Harold, this is actually a decision where you'd probably say no and just re-sign him long-term. Because that 5th-year option is going to be like, what, 13 plus? And we could probably get 2 years for 13 at that point. All right, so we are at 31 in the draft. We have a couple of DTs, but I think it's pretty obvious that you would just wait for Polk if you're going to go for Starks. Some of the other players, we did have a corner. Is he there? He is not. Probably not the biggest need anyways. But Luke Lindley looks very good, so he's probably someone I want. I don't know if I want to take someone this high. Or do I just take Luke Lindley because a 2 to 3 could easily be like pick 8. I get the 5th-year option and a guy that we're not starting right away anyways. I think that's actually a good call. Especially since he's normal, it's going to take him longer. If he wasn't 5'9", he'd be a god safety though. But 5'9" is kind of rough. But once again, it is a rebuild, so it doesn't actually matter. I just still mention it because I still get into the idea of that, like, you know, if I'm drafting this team, like normally, you know, I'm kind of sad that he's 5'9", but I mention it even though it never plays an actual factor because, once again, it is a rebuild. So when I say, oh, it was usually, it's not. It's a damn rebuild. And then I might even reach a little bit and grab Polk, go for the classic, which we've been doing, is trading up for a linebacker. The right guard, Leslie Sims, looks pretty good. Tight end's pretty cool, too. Ron Harris, he's pretty athletic, but still don't actually need that tight end. I keep slapping him on the list, but I never actually physically need them. So I think I'm going to go for Polk now, who won't start this season or ever. Oh my god, these draft classes. I think we're going to move down until we see a linebacker. That's kind of another position of need when we're down to 1, because I think both linebackers are pretty good. 2 normals. Not my best work, although their overalls could be good. Definitely an L not to have at least one of them being hidden. And I don't remember the linebacker's name. I'm just going to go until I see one linebacker taken, and then we confirm if I've been scammed or not. The Bills. Who cares? Dolphins. Who cares? Vikings. The Broncos. And I think I'm almost certain that was one of them. It was. We also have Chambers, too, but I'm probably going to go for Joey Wall, even though the last guy I took that was named Wall wasn't very good. And you know what? Speaking of, I'm going to save myself a little bit. I'm going to trade a 77 overall Woodward with a 3rd-round pick to move up to 79, which those are kind of, you know, if you're going to see in-draft trades, usually it's going to be kind of like mid-tier younger players. It's like, well, why the hell would I get rid of this pick for a player that isn't young when I get to draft someone young? Really want Leslie Sims, and because we saved those extra picks, might end up making the trade for him. But Joey Wall looks insanely athletic, and we finally get a hidden development trade. I say finally, but I think we just literally draft one. But our it sounded like a freaking seal there. Our track record lately, a little iffy. And we make a trade, a 4th and a 5th. The 5th is this, the 4th is next. And then, another 4th actually was this year as well. And with that pick, we are going to be taking Leslie Sims, who looks like a home run hit, but who knows? And he is hidden. For some reason, I thought it was going to be normal, but the last 2 picks definitely picked it up a little bit, and feeling a little bit better about the draft. Tight end, Alan Wooden, another kind of semi-athletic, not... Oh, no, he was really athletic. I'm going to go to the 4th round, and if he's there, I'm taking him. Well, the tight end was gone, but I have a great throw power, decently athletic quarterback, so Colin Miles the choice, 92 speed, 92 throw power, 85 speed, 91 excel. The other guy was usable that we took kind of recently-ish. This guy is definitely usable, but not someone we care about, so once again, don't know why I'm bringing it up. All right, Greg Sewell, that's going to be the choice. A pass block, great speed and whatnot. Fullback in the 7th, who cares? Looked, I mean, I don't know about the, his pass block was like an A, so it doesn't show that, but looked better than that, but I guess maybe not. We'll see real quick that it matters. It's a fullback, so who cares? But, the safety was a 77 overall. 68 overall for this quarterback. We're talking about how usable he was. Definitely usable. Deep accuracy sucks, but a young quarterback that you don't know if he's going to be the guy or not, other than that paranoid sense of pressure, you could live with this because you're going to be throwing it short or medium and probably not taking those deep shots anyways. So you just want a guy that can complete throws. So typically you want them to start out with the shorter stuff anyways. And I don't think anyone would start. So, I mean, we might as well look at the devs after the season is over. Also, this was Lindley. Very good player. Very good. The man coverage really sucks, especially for like a smaller guy that you would maybe like to move around a little bit. But other than that, he's actually really good. Even has some freaking hit power at the frame. There's some really insane offers here for Zion Johnson, but considering what the market for guards has been like, I mean, I feel bad even just taking like a running back. I'm going to take Wilder, though, from the Barons. We need a backup running back badly. Don't even know how old the guy is. I just know that we're not giving him that much. Oh, he's 22. Wow, what a trade. Wow, we scammed them hard. Let's take a look how good he is. 93 speed, 95 excel with star. He is 5'9", so he's probably going to suck in sim. But 96 juke move. This is a guy that we would have probably thought would have been generational off of first glance. Here we go for Season 8. Technically, 3 last seasons to go. Can we win more than one AI Super Bowl? Obviously, we have one ourselves, but does it really count? It does, but still, I want another one AI. With 3 more seasons left, I feel like most of these guys will stick around. Oh, 88 speed. Out of nowhere, Bryce Cody just cooking up some speed. But I think with these 31-year-olds, this is going to be the perfect cutoff point. They're all going to be like 34, maybe 35, just retiring. And like I said, we'll get away with that. We had ourselves a nice rookie class. Let's just put it that way. It was a superb one. And I want to see if they can cement themselves as one of the greatest classes of all time, as they're still all together and they've won a Super Bowl or 2 already. Maybe you can win another couple. All right, 75 mil. We just talked about some of these guys. Who can you let go and who can you not? We got Kazio back because he was a free agent. Andrews, who really hasn't played, does seem like the future at the position, though. Perkins, not really asking for too much, but he's also not great. Bishop, I think, needs to be replaced. Same with Evans. Obviously, Morris. And then we talked about Harold, not Harold Landry. Not giving him that 5th-year option because we thought it would be kind of cheaper to just go right away, and we were not wrong. So I think Harold, McKenzie, possibly Cross, for sure Cody will be re-signed. To the playoffs, we are in 13-4 with the bye week. Just barely, I would imagine, because we almost didn't even win the division, let alone the bye week. Very good season from Fisher. Tony House's yards are low, but the yards per carry are decent. Touchdowns are up. Kennedy's amazing. Cody's solid. Dunn is all right. And then Andrews, we gave a 5-year 100 to. He's going to be the position of the future. Dunn will be gone very soon. We are broke, though. Like, we're going to lose some starters here, and we still only have 3 mil left. Lucas killing it with 16 sacks. I mean, we do have a lot of the great cornerstone pieces still here. Still have a chance this season, obviously, at 13-4. And maybe even a couple more years down the line. Maybe this is like the mad year where we just go like on a Super Bowl streak or something like that. But before I do anything like that, let's actually take a look at the yearly awards, which we did not win MVP, but we probably would have won like best wide receiver. Kennedy does that. And maybe not D-line, but at least we got best wide receiver. I don't even know how many he's won at this rate, but a lot. I think when they're all like 34, which actually might be the final season anyways, we're going to take a look at some of these, these careers, if you will. Hopefully they don't retire before then. But the Browns, who are 9-8, I just can't wait. We always lose to these types of teams. Not today, though, apparently. Then the Bengals, who are 10-7, going to win that one as well. Going against the Niners, we won the Super Bowl against them, lost it most recently, and now here we are again facing them, maybe for the win? And we lose by 3. This Niners team's actually kind of cringe, dude. They're actually kind of pissing me off a little bit. We lose by 3 to the Niners, who are a good team, but they just aren't Sacramento City Miners. They just aren't. They just aren't. They even got a guy named Miner because they wanted to be us so bad. They couldn't. Oh my lord, we threw a pick. We had a pick against our own player that we used to have. How fitting. So we do all of a sudden have 34 mil, but do we even have anyone we want to re-sign? I think Perkins. I mean, the money's not bad. What's his ratings? He's a good power blocker. That's kind of what you want, but he's not the best. And like we've said millions of times before, guard is that position that you need to replace if you're going to try to keep a team intact as much as possible. Offensive linemen in general, got to replace those guys, and we're going to do that. So lost the Super Bowl with one of the best teams we'll have, as everyone's regressing, and once again, we're losing players. So this could be the end of the line for our, dominance. Even though we haven't won a bunch of Super Bowls, we have dominated every other game but that big one. We have 34 mil. Once again, I think at this point you're kind of reaching a status where you need to just save money and start developing youngsters to play different positions. But as you can see, there's some interesting players here, but they are all kind of like either outside of our range or they're just really old. Perkins, man, I might do a 1-year 5 because he might take that, and in general, I mean, it doesn't hurt to offer something like that. So 1-year 5, which I mean, realistically, I should just be happy paying the 1 year 7. But yeah, I mean, that's really all we're gonna do. I don't think there's anyone else worthy of grabbing. Like, all the DTs are real mid, and that's like the other big position we need. Damn, we didn't even get Nixon either. Nixon, he's 32 years old, but with that athleticism, he's actually not bad. He's got really good block shed and pretty good zone coverage. 84 zone coverage, 78 block shed. I would have imagined he was one of the best linebackers in the league in his time, so we're going to try to get him. I don't know if that's going to happen here. We don't get that guy. And then Nixon, I mean, we are a little desperate at the position. It takes a little while to develop these linebackers, so I would be willing to pay a little bit more to try to get him now. And I don't know if that's going to happen. It does not. So free agency is an L. What the F? Tony House retired? How old was he? How old was he? He must have been no older than like 33. Bro. Jalen Naylor retired as well, which is an interesting name, obviously. Tony House after 11 years only. He would have been like 21, 22, so he would have been like 33 or 34. My man's retires. He would have never been anywhere like close to the top list on the, all-time leaderboards, but it still is kind of crazy that just happened. Wilder's a decent backup running back, so I guess maybe we'll give him a shot as a starter. Kennedy, not bad. Cody, one of the better tight ends ever, really. Done pretty decent for a slot guy, and then Andrew's going to get his chance soon enough. We'll still have to take a look at some of these other guys, but Thorne, who is probably like 30 years old, already almost at 200 sacks, is insane. And then interceptions, McKenzie, we didn't get to see. McCollum might still be around somewhere. Is he? I don't see him unless he's a free agent. But looking at the NFL records, Mahomes kind of like catching up, and not really. I mean, he's not like way up there. Touchdowns, Mahomes does have that though already. Rushing yards, Taylor. Looking at rushing touchdowns, yeah, House would have never been anywhere near that. Yards, kind of closing in with Kennedy. Kind of, might actually get it right at the end. Kennedy already is on the list for touchdowns. Catches, I mean, I highly doubt it unless he was there and I just didn't see it. Sacks, 232 is the best right now with Myles Garrett, who's already regressed. Thorne is up there, dude. Anderson's up there too, but Anderson would have played many years before Thorne. Interceptions, I don't know why I would think like McCollum, who did play well, would ever be there. A couple of seasons were decent, but not the consistency that you would have needed. Those interceptions, all-time records, I mean, those things are like almost unbeatable. All right, so we're in the draft, and there's not a whole lot going on here. I mean, O-line is always going to be a thing of ours that we need. We did re-sign Nick Cross, and because he's an X-Factor, he might last a long time. But I still kind of debate taking Torrey McCullum, who I didn't even expect to take, but looks kind of decent. I might go for him. So we lost a linebacker. We did not replace one. We lost a lineman. We did not replace one, but we've had a backup that we've had for a lot of, I think we still have them, that we just kept because of the value. So I don't know if we actually need a lineman, but safety could be a need, even if it's not right now. I mean, hell, if this guy's good, he could still start over Lindley. It's just I feel like Lindley is a good overall, so could start. I'm going to take Torrey McCullum because I like the value. Been selling a little bit in the drafts lately. Linebacker. We do need one, right? Coates. I'm going to look at Coates real quick. 21, 6 foot tall. Not that. I mean, he's athletic. He's got the greats. I think I'm going to take the tackle, though. Chris Trout. I like the tackle. 22, 6'6". Okay strength. Hidden development trade is a win. Pretty athletic. Not a bad pick at all. Let's go to 31, where we might actually just take the other linebacker that we've seen that was like an actual true middle linebacker, which means they're probably a little bit more balanced. And a running back would not hurt. I think we could probably wait around, though. I'm going to end up going with Larry Rogers. 22 years old, 6'2", very athletic. What else could I ask for? And hidden development trait. It's a real hit or miss, but linebacker is one of the positions I usually hit on. Let's go to the next. Yeah, I do. I like their money and their muscles. That's a good question. Would you go that way for the pay? I don't even know what that means. It just came to my mind. It rhymed, so I wanted to say it. Speedy little running back who normally we find the kind of trucking backs, but this guy looked pretty good, so I'm going to go for him. Rayshon Vincent, very fast, normal dev. In a user league, that's amazing. I mean, that's fine. But, in a rebuild, I don't know if it's really a build that does well in Sim. And everyone else is a special teamer. We only have one kicker. It's a 5th rounder, but I'm going to grab him. He had elite kick power, and seemingly so correct. And then there was 2 punters. I don't know who the hell I'm going to take, but I'm pretty sure both were pretty similar anyway, so maybe we grab both. I don't know. We did recently grab a punter, but I don't want to pay punters or anything like that anymore, so stock. I'm going to go for whoever's younger, I guess. 22. Watch, you're both going to be 22. I can't remember. 21. Boom. Sam Stanton. 97 kick power with and 77 speed. So 2 97 kick power special teamers. Sounds like a dub in my book. And then I took an A pass block, A run block fullback who has really good strength. I wonder what his overall is. Obviously, potentials, I believe, are based on the other players. So if everyone else is mid and this guy has like a 68, it's like, oh, A, that's an A, but it's not technically an A. But we'll see. I kind of want to see the fullback first for some reason. 73 overall is actually pretty good, and I don't know if I would say A, but 72 run block is very good with good strength. The free safety was a high overall. Middle linebacker actually looks pretty good. Vincent's not bad. Trout at 72 overall. So, I mean, we landed some good players. I mean, normally, especially lately, our drafts classes have actually looked worse than that. I don't know who the hell I want for Mr. John Middleton, but he's a 25-year-old star development trade player, I believe, at 84 overall. He's actually worth a lot. I might try to get like a pure second-round pick off of him if I can. And I think the Falcons are going to be that team as they have an 80 overall 26-year-old right tackle, so he's already older than our guy and much worse. Season 9, we definitely take a bit of a step back at running back, but, I mean, as far as, like, going from your main guy to the backup guy that never really got a chance to play goes, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. Whoever we traded to get him, I think it might have been another lineman. W trade. Obviously, I don't know how well he's going to play, but still, W trade. Obviously, there's some lower... Was Wall always a... Huh? This must have been... Because, it's hard for me to keep track sometimes of who's what and who's who, because there is like breakups in I know it's been 3 years, but in like recording, so sometimes I forget who's who and when they were drafted and whatnot. But I believe that was one of the rookies that we were like, oh, we're not going to start him, so there's no point in taking a look at their dev. And he happened to be an X Factor. Now I'm going to also say with Nick Cross, we may have made a very crucial error in re-signing him, as he lost 7 zone coverage. And we have him for another 2 or 3 seasons. Whoops. But either way, we're hoping that Lindley can have himself a season. And maybe McCollum, I don't know what kind of, luck he could have potentially. Damn, Nakobe Dean has fallen a bit. In getting like some sort of random dev up. But maybe we could set him up as well. And Larry Rogers, as of right now, kind of projects to be the new middle linebacker next season. So I'm going to take a look at the dev now just so, if we get another... In fairness, Superstar is still really good. Another X Factor. People are like, he's cheating. Which, I mean, if I was going to cheat, let me be honest with you, I would have cheated a lot earlier than this. Because, I mean, I'm sure maybe we have a chance of winning the Super Bowl, but if we couldn't do it last season and the team is taking a bit of a step down here, I mean, I feel like the chances are lower. Personally, we're at 121 mil on the second to last season. A couple of veterans. Fisher needs a re-sign, which we can easily afford. Same with Hanks. I mean, we can afford everyone. We really don't even have that many names yet. We have 121 mil, so we're gonna try to get Fisher on. Probably just knock out a 5 year. Maybe 5 years is a little too high. Let's do a 4 year. 4-year 200, which seems like way above what he was wanting. No? Well, that's gone. Okay, so I said, we could easily resign him. No issues. As of right now, I don't know if we're going to be able to get Kennedy because we have 1.1 mil. We've offered him, but he didn't take my 2-year 66 I offered. Might have to do a 4-year 120, which, I mean, at his dev and his overall, I might be able to... It might happen, but I don't know. But, Broderick Jones going to definitely be gone. Dean was already going to be gone anyways. Yeah, our money, it thinned out pretty quickly. 13-4 for the Miners in the second to last season. Eli Fisher on the top list for yards. Pretty good touchdowns. Interceptions are decent, so maybe MVP. Wilder, I mean, it's not much worse than what Tony Alves was doing. Andrews, not bad. Touchdowns are okay. Cody's still killing it. Kennedy's still killing it. And Dunn is... I kind of hope he just retires, save some money for us. Gallimore, not bad. The O-line's actually playing really well. The best season of Broderick Jones' career, and of course, it's the year we can't afford him. Ojulari with 21 sacks, just paid him. Thorne, 20 sacks, 15.5 for Lucas. One of the best D-lines ever. It's crazy to say, but that would be They've already put up just enough numbers to easily claim that category, and then done with a kick return touchdown, which is pretty cool. Not MVP. Where the hell? Number 5. Thought it would have been way harder than that. Ojulari with the Defensive Player of the Year award, though. Broderick Jones, best O-line. He's going to get to Superstar at 33/34. Finally, Ojulari, best D lineman, and that is about it. But that's some nice award wins. A little more variety than normal. When's the last time we've seen an O-line win? Ever? I don't think so on this series. Jaguars, who we noticed got Trevor Lawrence back. Pretty low overall, though, and we do win. The Barons, only thing standing in our way to the Super Bowl. They will not hold us back, and for the first time in this series history, a Super Bowl for the Miners is not against the Niners, which rhymes. And it does matter as we win the Super Bowl, the 3rd Super Bowl won for this Miners team. And it was a 3-point win. Last year we lost by 3. If we would have won all those Super Bowls, we would have been, like I said, this rookie group, like Kennedy, Cody, Fisher, House, technically. I don't know if he was actually a part of that same exact class, but they would have been cemented as easily the best draft class ever. Still might. Okay, so we got to see who retired, because money has just spawned, which, I mean, for real life, why couldn't it spawn? Like, why couldn't money just spawn for me? Like, I just don't understand. Like, I would love that for me. 3-year 83, I mean, I'm kind of down, but I also feel like, I mean, I'm pretty much willing to give him, like, 30 plus per year, so why wouldn't I just, like, what's the worst? Yeah. I mean, maybe it's the best for you, but it's not going to happen. 26 mil, we save money, so suck it. Nakobe Dean, we've struggled to get linebackers. Nakobe Dean is my son. I gotta keep him. I have to. That was a very, personal re-sign rather than intelligent re-sign, and I don't regret it for one moment. Or as a corner could be a positional need, but not really. Tight end, I'm not really sure what the situation is. Sure, I'd like to finish these kind of rebuilds out, even when it's a 10-year, and I know I'm not playing another season, with keeping it as realistic as possible, like setting the team up for the future, but this is the last season. I still think, we are still doing that anyways. So I'm probably going to just save money. I thought it said Nick Cross. We let go of Broderick Jones, right? Actually, Broderick Jones, it seems like, may have just retired. Because I don't remember seeing him on the re-signings list. He's just gone. This is the last season, and a lot of these guys are asking for one-year deals, so it would be kind of irresponsible not to just take, like, a Kwanu or something. Like a 1-year 18 for a Kwanu, probably cheaper than Broderick or similar anyways, so why not? I bumped my offer for Aquana to 22 mil, and he ended up going with the Niners, who did not just win the Super Bowl like we just did, and took 16 million, which, yeah, sure. Play left tackle for a mobile quarterback that'll probably end up holding on to the ball a lot longer than most. I mean, it makes sense to me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this guy, but I may end up trying to trade up for this guy. I think we found ourselves one of the best generational quarterbacks ever in the final season of this rebuild, which he literally plays no factor in, our success this season. But this guy is literally pick 1 overall every time in the week. I mean, not even just that, but every day of the week. And if users saw that in a league, I mean, I don't even know what you would, what would be the value of pick 1? Is it like 5 first-round picks and 290 plus overall players minimum? Maybe more? I mean, that's insane. Round 1, top 10 pick. If he's there at 10, I'll trade up for him. But obviously, it's not really a position of need. So, oh, this almost went. I don't know what else I can do. I mean, we're really not offering him a whole lot here, to be fair. But even though we don't need this guy, I just want him. Ooh, we could get it second next year, especially since we're not even going to be here for this pick anyways. Boom. We have landed the torch pass in Mr. Walton, who looks ridiculous. This would probably be the best quarterback I've ever drafted, personally. I've seen some good ones. Never drafted one this good, I don't believe, but maybe he's not generational. Maybe he's just a generational talent and speed, but not generational as in X factor. But something tells me he might be. Oh, my! He makes Anthony Richardson look like a bum. Not really, but he doesn't. He makes him look pretty bad comparatively. This is literally Cam Newton if Michael Vick's legs were attached to him. Obviously the weight's not really there, but the height. insane. I mean, he's insane. I don't know if Petrovsky's the best player remaining, but I might just grab him anyways. 21, speed, screw it. Bronson, Petrovsky, usable, athletic as hell, but normal, of course. All right, I mean, I'm going to go for a tight end here with a late third. It doesn't really matter, but a backup. Looks decently athletic, good run block, kind of on the smaller side, but is hidden. I don't know if he's a Bryce Cody, but he's not bad, though. Center's still there. He looks pretty raw, but, I mean, he's the only guy I have left remaining, and he's still hidden anyways. All right, the moment we've all been waiting for. Oh, my, dude. 82 overall. This guy's insane. I mean, we did a video recently enough, or not really recently enough, but this Madden, where we, looked at, who was the best player after, 30 years. I think we found a couple of quarterbacks similar to this. Were they actually this good, though? Were they 96 throw power, low 80s, technically mid 80s for the accuracy stats, with 97 speed? Were they that good? I mean, he's pretty much got to be X Factor, right? Because of the overall. Oh, my. That's absurd. And even the center was a 76 overall. It was a day 3 that kept falling. He's definitely not going to be a superstar, but, like, that's insane. I don't even know. I don't know what to tell you. He's ridiculous. All right, here we are with the final season. It's finally here. Hopefully the video's not too long. It probably is, but my bad. Last video of the year. Well, Madden 23 year anyways, but that's like literally a day or two away, technically. I did what I could to get this up. I did what I could. I'm like an old man trying to do it for one last time before I croak it. I tried to get it up as well as I could, but I needed help on the outside. I don't know what that means, but this is what the team looks like. It's not as good as it used to be. I'll tell you that much, but it definitely is still good enough. Kennedy wants a contract, and 3-year 93 is not going to get it done. It's going to be another tag. Well, we're not going to be around for it. Wilder, he hasn't really played that well. We do have a lot tied into Kennedy right now, but we'll see. Obviously, I'm trying to keep the team going, even if we're not going to physically be here. Looks like the yards per carry, because he's a 90-plus overall running back, is going to finally get up to the number we're looking for. So 6-year 57? Okay, never mind. Wow. Do you see the contract for... Okay, yeah, we'd be looking for a new linebacker as well. Andrews is... I mean, this is why, at this point, I would actually just not feel bad about scamming people's contracts, because... I mean, it's just like, screw it, dude. Josh Bush, whatever. What else do we have? Anyone else here? Who was that? It was Wagner. So we have 22 mil left. We could afford, pretty much anyone we wanted, but probably would choose not to. And the Miners at 14-3 are in for the final season. Can they win one more Super Bowl? I don't know. 48 touchdowns, 10. It could be MVP, actually. Fisher, I don't remember if we've actually won one with him. Wilder was great. Kennedy was amazing. Andrews was solid. Cody was solid. Blocking was all right. And blocking's actually been pretty good. Thorne is him, dude. He's literally on his way to becoming the greatest of all freaking time. Who the hell is that? Oh, it was Lucas. I don't know why I saw the name Brandon Lance. Simmons only missed one kick, and that was a blocked kick. Not really his fault. Punter was okay. Kick return, punt return game, no touchdowns. Looking at the yearly awards, no MVP. We lost MVP to a 7-10 quarterback. If you're truly the most valuable player, you gotta at least make the playoffs. That's bare minimum. We actually did win still a bunch of awards anyways, though. But let's see it. Wild card round, and we don't have to play it because of the bye week. Divisional round. The Jaguars, we beat them once. They are a little bit higher of an overall this time. It seems like we're slightly lower. And you know what? That was the one. We're going to take a look at who wins the Super Bowl. But first I want to, before we end up going too far and we have retirements, I want to see what the guys that we've had, some of our series favorites, have gone up to on their seasons, their careers. And Kennedy did really well, but ultimately we just didn't win. They put a lot of points up. Let's see it. Eli Fisher. Let's take a look at the... awards as well. This is the seasons. Pretty good stuff. That first year, 5,000 yards. Didn't cross. I know he did cross the last 2 seasons, actually. Nowhere near the best season, but this one, was it actually his best? It was. He's had some other good ones, but The latest one we had, which we ended with on the series, was the best, which was, I mean, an absurd season in general anyways. But let's take a look at those awards. I don't want to look at the ratings because all their ratings are going to be lower than last couple of seasons anyway, so it's a bit of a regression. But 8 Pro Bowl appearances, a couple of best quarterbacks, but never had MVP, which is pretty funny because he led the league in passer rating. Now, the passer rating isn't the end-all, be-all, but it kind of is, and it kind of should be. But touchdowns, just under 500, but he still has years to go. Completion percentage is good. Career passer rating, I would imagine that's pretty close to, if not the highest ever. Wilder, we don't know. He's just a guy that we just got. But Kennedy, over 1,000 catches, 16,000 yards, 171 touchdowns, which is insane. Cody, touchdowns are lacking a little bit, especially for a tight end. But overall, all-time, that is up there. And then we don't really know anyone else because the other guys kind of left. Don't care about too much of this. Hanks, 48 sacks allowed for a center, actually is kind of a lot. Thorne, though, 231 and a half sacks. No interceptions in his career, even though he came close on a few when we were playing. Ojulari, almost 200, should get there. Lucas, pretty good stuff. Dean, though, is an inside linebacker. 33.5 is not bad. 19 interceptions. What about forced fumbles? 10 forced fumbles? Thought it would have been a little bit higher than that, to be honest. Interceptions, a lot of these guys, they're not the OGs, right? McKenzie's gone. McCollum's gone. And then kicker punter, who cares about? But, yeah, let's take a look at some of the legacy, I suppose, see what the league looks like in general. But the head coach legacy goes to our guy with 3 Super Bowls, 6 championships, and 7 yearly awards. As far as all goes, it goes to Burrow, who won like 1 billion MVPs. Greatest of all time if you want to count MVPs as the thing to have. But also, in general, 4 Super Bowls. So Joe Burrow, in our universe, retires the GOAT. Pass rushers, you can kind of argue Thorne's the GOAT. 3 Super Bowls, all those championships, and yearly awards, plus the pretty close to, if not already, all-time sack leader. And then, that's pretty much it. Kennedy, kind of curious to see where he ended up. What about House? Is he on the list? Maybe I'm going to miss him. I apologize if I do. I would have assumed he'd been higher than this if he was. I may have missed him. Or he's just not on there because he's retired for a while now. I don't know. Kennedy, though, second all-time, it seems, to DJ Moore, who won a bunch of the Bills as well, and Cody, all-time, number 1 as well. But, yeah, I mean, that is going to be it for the 10-year rebuild, technically longer, of our Sacramento City Miners Relocation Fantasy Draft franchise. I really hope you guys enjoyed this series because I enjoyed making it, and it was one of my more fun series that we've done in a while. More quarterback carousel stuff, and in general, for a while, it was pretty tough for some time, and then we developed some really good players that I never expected to get that far. I mean, Bryce Cody, one of the best tight ends I've had in this channel's history. Kennedy, one of the best big man wide receivers that we've had in channel history. We've obviously had a lot of smaller guys that are blazing fast, but for him to basically become like Jamar Chase but with Mike Evans' frame is just ridiculous. I mean, he was so good. House was pretty good, not that great. Fisher was clean. He missed some things here and there, but he was really solid. Should have utilized his legs a little bit more, though, I got to admit. And the defenders, we had some fun guys like N'Kobe Dean and obviously McCollum the Pickmeister. McKenzie was decent as well. But definitely the offense was more memorable, in my opinion, than the defense. And it was pretty successful. Ended up winning 3 Super Bowls, 1 with ourselves and 2 with the AI. And, yeah, that was a hell of a ride. And I hope you guys enjoyed Madden 23. This isn't just the series, but just the Madden 23 cycle itself. Madden 24 is going to get just as crazy, if not crazier. And I'm hoping you're excited for that game as well. I think it's going to be more fun than before because I've seen things that make it seem like it's going to be more difficult than before. And difficulty, in my opinion, makes everything more fun. As maybe we don't even win a Super Bowl at all, because it'll be so hard. I don't know. That's the challenge for me. I love it. So I'm hoping we get a fun, good game, and I'm hoping you guys rock with me there as well, as we will have our Texans and Chicago Bears series. We will play the Superstar mode, as long as you guys want to see it. I think I did 10 to 20 episodes of the wide receiver one last year. Once you guys lost interest, to be fair, the game kind of forced us out because the coding kind of broke the series, and we couldn't play anymore. Would have probably played longer, but yeah, I'm probably going to do another wide receiver career. Maybe I'll do a poll for that as well, but I think wide receiver is the most fun, so I might just do that. Honestly, I think I might just executive decision this thing, although QB for a proper superstar mode could be fun. But that's about it. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed, maybe leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. Maybe you decided to randomly scroll across this. You're bored waiting for Madden 24. If you're not new, really appreciate your continued support so much. You just don't even know. It really means a ton to me. And, when you guys comment stuff like, most underrated YouTuber, or this guy's become one of my favorites, or I love the videos, keep grinding, all that. It really does. It gives me a boost. We're all human. Sometimes if a video doesn't do well, I'm like, man, this kind of sucks. Like this kind of sucks. I really, want this to be, my thing, and I've lived to entertain. I've said stories before in like one of the older Q&As where that was like some of my most fun times in life, is just making people laugh and entertaining. And, hopefully if I can do that, bring even a smile to someone's face, help someone's bad day turn into still probably a pretty bad day, but at least slightly better, or they forget about it for a moment, I feel like I've succeeded. And, when you guys send those kind of comments and you guys support the videos, watching them, leaving a like, whatever it is, that it does that for me. So I really appreciate it. And, yeah, this was a fun one, and I'm hoping, like I said, you're excited for next Madden. Will you guys come back for next video, which should be on Monday? But until next video,